For the past few generations, Eastern Kentucky has been struggling to lift itself out of the throes of poverty, job loss, and the belittlement of stereotypes forced upon it. In recent years, with the increased shrinkage of the coal labor force, a sense of crisis has seeped into the region. In 2013, there was a summit held in Pikeville, Kentucky to address the desire to overhaul and change the food and agricultural structures, marketing strategies, tourism, arts, and education in the region. The most recurring theme mentioned in the report to achieve these goals is the recognition of the need to recruit less traditional voices into the community leadership and on implementing new technologies. The SOAR report from that summit also revealed some other interesting findings. One of the most important things to note, as mentioned in the opening letter to the governor, is that 1,700 people from the region attended this conference. To quote Charles Fluharty, "This in and of itself is truly inspiring. This indicates there is a strong sense of the community gathering together to dream, hope, and change their future." This led to investigating the communities of practice learning theory, a subset of constructivism, and a variation of Vygotsky's more knowledgeable other. The MKO model concentrates more on an individual or small group of people that are highly skilled or educated working to pass their knowledge on to others. For example, a teacher and the students in the classroom. Communities of practice takes a broader view of learning. While the concept of a COP does not exist by itself, it is part of a broader conceptual framework for thinking about learning in its social dimensions. It is a perspective that locates learning not in the head or outside of it, but in relationship between the person and the world. Etienne Wagner describes it this way: communities of practice are groups of people who share a concern or a passion for something they do and learn how to do it better as they interact regularly. This could be illustrated as a tribe learning how to hunt and survive, a band of artists seeking new forms of expression, or a clique of pupils defining their identity in a school. While the description allows for any community to be a COP, not every community is a COP. I live in a city, but that does not mean I am necessarily learning from the city. 3 characteristics are crucial. Number 1, the domain. A community has an identity defined by a common interest and has a commitment to the domain with a shared competence that distinguishes members from other people. Number 2, the community. By pursuing their interests within a domain, groups of people engage in activities and discussions, help each other, and share information. By engaging in similar activities and interests, people build relationships and structure, self-organization with dynamic boundaries, and ongoing negotiations of identity and cultural meaning. Number 3, the practice. People who share similar interests and gather together to practice and participate in activities and share information and insights they each have learned. One observation of the COP is that sometimes people are not even aware that they are engaging in a learning social environment. Nurses meeting at lunch sharing stories of their experiences may or may not realize that information is being absorbed and applied in their general practice. This gets to one of the core definitions given by Etienne Wagner. A community can meet without the specific intention of learning. Despite the strong desire within the Appalachian community to change, there are significant challenges to the region, one of which is the implementation of technology itself. As stated in the video, Did You Know 3.0, technology is doubling every 2 years, meaning that students starting a 4-year technical degree today, half of what they learn in their first year of study will be outdated by the 3rd year of study. When you apply this to a region that has struggled with education and development for years, technology can almost seem impossible to understand and implement. Another challenge of this technological explosion leading us to hyper-modern times is described by Dr. Milicevic from the University of South Carolina. With the glut of information being created today, people are forced into making 2 choices. 1, they can cause excessive stress to themselves by attempting to digest all new incoming data and keep up with technology, a suicidal quest at best. Or 2, they can resort to tunnel vision that concentrates on an unbelievably narrow window of highly specialized interest. Such individuals are learning more and more about less and less and ultimately resulting in a loss of any semblance of understanding of how their specialty fits into the rest of existence. Neither of these options is a truly attractive life strategy, but out of sheer informational desperation, more and more people are opting for the second alternative. With all the challenges of infrastructure, implementation, education, and the use of technology, there is an often misunderstood tool that can be used to build bridges: the arts, more specifically, music. Barbara Friedman, an instructor at musicedtech.com, stated, "Teach music, the technology will follow." Music creation has become incredibly intertwined with technology. Also, with each new development, the cost and difficulty of creating music has gotten cheaper and easier to do. One no longer needs to study music at an advanced level to participate anymore or have excessively large coffers to fund a music program. As mobile apps, software, and hardware have become more and more accessible, almost anyone with a basic sense of technology can create music. One of the unique things in creating music this way is that there is generally an immediate result, and the creator can listen to and show off his or her creation in almost real time. While most users of these applications may not be interested in the inner workings and technical details of the program, there will be a few that do, or try to create something beyond the boundaries of the program, enticing them to invent other means to create. By encouraging the curious to explore the possibilities of technology as well as engaging in their community, there is a possibility for knowledge and exploration to grow and expand, incorporating the culture of the area. If this were to take place, we could begin to address concerns stated by Milicevic with people who focus on one area of technology by having them engage in their community and begin to see how their skills fit into their environment. While I realize the scope of the project as a whole is one that cannot be achieved within the parameters of the master's program, developing and testing a program on a small scale is, and could serve as a pilot study for the larger regional project. Currently, there are discussions with a few peers and associates to develop techniques and a plan for implementing music as a tool to introduce technology on a small scale. The main focus of the plan will be scalability and transportability. With communities starting to come together with a strong desire to change the region in Appalachia, there is a real opportunity to incite change in a positive and creative way.